10 hours is a really, really long time to do anything. And I guess that brings me to the point of today's vlog. Pulling inspiration from The Everything Store, book about Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Pulling inspiration from Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People in a Digital Age, which I have not heard before, have not read before. I have read the original, or at least some version of the original. And also pulling from another book, which I'm drawing a blank on. Oh, Tony Robbins. So, who I'd never read before. Awaken the Giant Within, I think, is the book. So, pulling influence, I was afforded the opportunity to take in a lot of information this morning. And while taking in a little bit from each of these books, the big thing for me, the big takeaway, as well as, first of all, dream big. Dream big, dream specific. And dreams change. So that if today I've got a specific dream and tomorrow my dreams change, that's okay. I can adjust course, I can adjust path, but shoot for what really is the dream. And the second thing, which I think kind of goes in line with this for me, along with the question, what is your dream, was the meaning, right? So this was actually outlined in How to Win Friends and Influence People in a Digital Age, that your content has to have meaning. Your interaction with the world has to have meaning, which I think is something that I've been calling lately value. As I'm learning more about blogging, as I'm learning more about vlogging and doing any kind of marketing. And I think the big thing is, which I think is really cool, and the reason why I want to enter into this, and this kind of goes along with the dream and goes along with the bigger vision of things, is to me, it seems like marketing in this age is less about selling people things. And it's more about giving people as much free value as possible. To say, all of this is for free. Because I want to. Because that's what I love doing. And then I can also offer services. You can go buy my beats. Maybe I'll film a workshop or two. Who knows? And that's all stuff that you could buy if you wanted to know more about a specific subject or something I want to offer. At least that seems to be the trend. But the thing I really like about this redefinition or I guess new perspective on that is that when you talk about meaning, it's not just about presenting value in that content has value, because I think there is such a thing as worthless content. I think instead it's more about providing something with meaning, something that people can latch onto, because I think what I was going for was more of a narrative style, but I had some very loose ideas, and I'm still a little nervous about the title of my blog being Beats, Beer, Games, and Gear, because it's kind of a lot of stuff. I mean, what it comes down to is I dig music, computers, beer, and games. And they're all somewhat related, and I feel like there's a lot of people out there who, like me, like those things. And, I'd like to share my love with the world. But without meaning, without purpose, it's worthless, right? It doesn't have any value. So I guess today what I'm really wanting to define is what the meaning of these vlogs and this blog and my presence online is. Because, and of course it'll change. It's an evolutionary stable system. It's something that's continually evolving and continually changing. And how to state that as a definitive now and then be able to grow that in the future is really the challenge, is to be able to move on your feet both with your goals and in your trajectory, which I guess is the real goal, is to be able to reevaluate that on a daily basis. I think so in defining meaning and defining the goal, I've been loosely kind of exploring, venues or methods or medium to approach a dream, but I've kind of lost sight of what that dream is. Because my dream used to be to teach music production. And I really like that, but to me, it feels a little empty. And I think it always was about the money in that, because I was able to make money in that. I was able to make okay money in that. Not good money by any means. But I think that was more due to my lack of business knowledge and business sense, lack of hard work, and lack of just in general, just buy-in in general, that led to those endeavors failing rather than the fact that the industry itself can't. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying for anyone who's aspiring to be a music educator or a music production educator or whatever, that doesn't exist as a lucrative career, because it does. It's very, very... there's a lot of really great tutors out there. I mean, you think of Il Gates, Mr. Bill, KJ Saka's doing the thing with Il Gates now, which is really cool. Who else? I mean, there's tons of other people. All of the Dubsprod instructors are really cool. There's just a lot of really, really good people who are teaching music out there. But I think, again, it felt really empty, because to me, it lacks... What does it lack for me? Personally, I don't think it lacks anything for me, because I was so happy doing that. I could do that every day, all the time, and I could be like a modern music performance / electronic music production professor and just research and do that all day and be incredibly happy. But I think for me, I want to affect change in the world. There are a lot of things that, and again, I don't think for these things, this is where I wasn't able to ever find the trajectory of what I need to be doing on a daily basis. But I think after listening to Tony Robbins today, I don't need to have the trajectory or the means in mind in order to set the goal. So the big thing I'd like to do is affect big change in the world. And I think I have some specific ideas about what that means. But I don't know if any of it is concrete enough to share here. Anyway, I think I really want to, share education and open-mindedness and alternative community and cooperation and cooperative living, without thinking about any of the, I guess, modern jargon that goes with a lot of that stuff, because I feel like people tend to take things like that too seriously sometimes. No. I take that back. People don't tend to take it too seriously. I think that definitions are taken too seriously sometimes. So when you say, I'm into co-living or into green living or into sustainable living or into, polyamory or into new thought or manifestation or witchcraft or what, give it your thing of choice. People have a very distinct definition of what that is, and I feel like, it's a big thing to be able to reevaluate constantly your definition of what things mean, and also realize that everything means something different to every person. Just because two people are vegan doesn't mean they're the same kind of vegan. Now, they might subscribe to a similar philosophy, but they don't do it the same way. They definitely eat the different kinds of food inside of veganism. Or if you're paleo or primal, or, everyone eats something different, no matter what you're eating, and that's just talking diet. So if you're talking religion or philosophy or belief or, whatever it might be, there's so many different flavors of everything. And so when I say that I want to affect change in the world by spreading education, by opening up the conversation and all of these things, I think the big thing, it all comes down to, I want people to open up their minds to redefinition. I want people to continually and constantly open up the discussion, open up to facts, and open up to what everyone has to say, because I think this is the big thing for me. And if you are constantly presented with new information that makes you reevaluate your life views, then I feel like resisting that change, no matter how great or small, is a limiting factor in one's life. I feel like ignoring a lot of the signs and information and input, well, it's input to your mind, but a lot of the, sensory input that is coming into your face, ignoring all of that and saying to yourself, no, I'm going to brute force my way through this, is a really limiting behavior, or at least it is for me. And in the same token, and here's where the balance lies, and here's what's strictly in line with my point, is that it cannot be black and white, is that everything is gray and everything is up for discussion, and there's constantly new information. Okay, then you talk about faith. Even in the face of new evidence, if you don't have faith in something, and I think specifically in this instance, I'm talking about faith in yourself, or faith in the universal power of self, faith in your ability to act on your feet and adjust to your environment and really take what comes and make the best out of it. If you don't have faith in yourself to overcome your odds and get the life of your dream, or rather, everyone should have faith in themselves, because you can do it. I'm here to tell you, you can do it. You can do it. I invite you to do it. I invite you to be everything you can be. I want to open up the conversation. I want to talk to every single person in the world. I want to learn constantly about everything. I want to know what everyone has to say, and I think that's the big thing. So, 12 minutes and 21 seconds has ended up being a whole lot longer than I thought it would be. But really, that's what it comes down to. Is creating meaning, not just content that then somehow has value because it's content. So create content with meaning. There you go. And then to define the purpose, which is to open up the conversation. And like I said, I don't know if that's specific enough to really be anything right now, but I know what it feels like to me. And so I'm going to sit and, be with that. And I'm going to do with that in mind. Yeah. I think one of the other takeaways from this morning's books that I was able to read. Written goal setting is a must. And remember, never complain, never target people, don't be negative, always be positive. Try to spin something into the positive, because that just doesn't help for your relationships with other people. It really helps with yourself and your manifestation and your inner workings. Because if you are clear in your language, not just verbal language, but your internal language, in what is, what can be, what will be, what you are doing, then it's very easy for your mind. Whoa, I hope that didn't cut off. It's very easy for your body and for the universe to align with your thoughts. But if you're thinking about what isn't, if you're thinking about what shouldn't and what you don't, then your thoughts, it's very difficult for your environment and your manifestation to align with your thoughts, because you're thinking about the things you don't want. So it ends up being a confusing message. Anyway, have a great day.